Two. I'm Ben, your host, and today we are first picking a green card. Freeze Strider Lookout is pretty cool, and white-green is the best place to be in the format. This just isn't that exciting. I mean, whenever you commit a crime, you look at the top 5, you put a land into play tapped. It's cool to hit a tap land to ping them an extra damage off this, but, you know, it's already triggered, so you don't get to do it again. Full Steam Ahead, Rambling Possum, these cards are pretty good. There is an Intimidation campaign. I don't think you can take this. You can't take this first pick. You have to have the interaction already. Plus, blue is not really where you're going to be in this format. I'm waiting until the blue decks come around. I have a feeling there will be some that end up pretty good, and a blue-black Intimidation campaign deck, or even splashing this in like a black-red deck or green-black deck can be nuts. That being said, keep it simple. Take the good old-fashioned Freeze Strider Lookout. Just kind of a bummer. Would hope to open something a little... Oh, thought it was a Rakdos at first. Man, a cool is a different massive black-red flying trampler, but not quite as good as the other one. There is a back for more. There is also... Oh, there's a throw from the saddle. Man. I really like back for more. Unfortunately, throw from the saddle is definitely the pick. This thing has the win rate of some of the mythics in the set. Like some of the top tier... Throw from the saddle is amazing. Just, honestly, partly because green-white is so good. It's going to bump up the numbers of all the green and white cards. Now, this Frontier Seeker, this is probably a pretty good pickup here, too. A cool is obviously good if you're literally Rakdos, but if you're not literally Rakdos, you can't play this card. You can't even really splash it. And even still, even then, it's just a 5/5 flying trample, which is not the best thing in this format. There are cards that can beat that, like Back for More. I love Back for More, but I think it probably is better to just stay monocolor. Pairs well with the Freeze Strider. Here we've got a Ruthless Lawbringer. I like black-white a lot. We're obviously pretty far away from that. Could just take a Dance the Tumbleweeds, or could take a Festering Gold Shear. There's a Rise of the Varmints. Maybe if we go into the black-green Graveyard Vector, but I don't know. Dance the Tumbleweeds, it's hard to go wrong with this card. I do like taking Deserts early, but before we know if we're going to be like a 5-color Deserts deck, or if we're just ramping, I mean, Freeze Strider Lookout does sort of point us towards trying to ramp up and do big things. By the way, I didn't even mention the rare of this pack. Step Between Worlds is just not... No, we're not doing that. Each player may shuffle their hand in the library and draw 7 cards. No. Although, I do like that you can break the symmetry by being a better drafter and putting better cards in your deck. Basically by setting your opponent skill issue. I'm just going to take the Dance. It's close between that and the Gulch, but before we know what we're doing, I think I just like, oh boy, we got an Obika. Wow, a great late rare. Wow, and not a single green card in this pack. There is an Unlicensed Hearse, and there's a Mirage Mesa. Hearse is fine. It can grow pretty big, and then it can be a crew to 10/10 or something. Plus, hating on the graveyard is not nothing. But I think I'm just going to take the Mirage Mesa. I think it's pretty close between the two. They are both really good cards. I think the Mesa is just a little better, a little more what I'm looking to do here. I mean, there's no world... I mean, here's the thing. You can play both these cards in any deck, right? They're both going to be playable. I wonder what the win rates would say on Unlicensed Hearse. I'm going to take the Mesa, but I could be wrong. That might supposed to be the Unlicensed Hearse there. It's a late Scorching Shot, Irascible Wolverine, even a Jagged Barrens, Terminal Agony. Black and red are looking pretty open coming from this direction. Don't love red, but look, Scorching Shot's just clean and efficient. I think I've got to take it. Removal's important in this format, and I don't hate seeing things like the Wolverine coming around too. This is Sheriff of Safe Passage. This card is... it's whatever. We're pretty far away from doing Madness stuff, but I think Scorching Shot's just the best card in this pack. Maybe the Wolverine or the Jagged Barrens too, but I'll take the shot. Maybe we move into red. Well, I mean, if one good shot deserves another, right? There's also One-Eyed Griffin and Ariate's Lullaby. Green-white is, you know, a better color combination, but look, these are just good, clean kill spells. Oh, Stoneforge Mystic. I adore Stoneforge Mystic. One of my favorite cards in all of Magic. There's no way I can take this here. Absolutely not. There's no equipment that are worth playing and any of that. Riku of Many Paths. I don't have any modal spells yet. It'd be kind of cool if I got to do this. I haven't seen anyone in the format try making Riku work yet. I guess we just have to take a bunch of spree cards. Or we could just take something like a Prickly Pear, just a nice solid card. We'll take the pear. Maybe Riku would have been the cool thing to do there. Here we kind of have, oh, Lava Spur Boots to go. Wait, with Stoneforge Mystic? That's actually kind of cool. Go get low. I don't think there's any big equipment. Nothing worth putting into play. I'll take a Tornado. This is a best of 3 match, so there's a chance we want to side it in. Wow, we wheeled Full Steam Ahead. This is our wheel pack. We got back Lively Dirge, Full Steam Ahead, and a Take Up the Shield too. That's a pretty surprising wheel. We're kind of split between green and red here. I don't like taking a white card when this is our pool. I think it'd be just Full Steam Ahead here. Plus, that pairs well with our Prickly Pear. Okay, guess we could take the advantage. Lackey is fine. I guess it's kind of neat with Full Steam Ahead. It makes a pretty hard to block thing. I think I'll just take the advantage. If we open like a Bruce Tarl or something, we could just slam it and feel pretty good about it with these 2 lands. Wow, so wheeling the Lively Dirge, I could see a black deck not wanting it, but I'm not sure I could see a black-green deck not wanting it. I mean, if there's another black-green drafter, they likely would have taken that card. It's pretty good. So maybe black-green was the place to be. But there was a back for more as well. Whatever. I don't feel bad about that throw from the saddle pick. I think we've kept ourselves pretty open here. Got a solid little black-green deck going. Or red-green deck, rather. Fling and Rise of the Varmints. These cards can both be pretty powerful. I think I'm going to take Fling. I actually think in red-green, we're going to be trying to... I'll just take a quick draw for the sideboard. In red-green specifically... Oh, I could combo it with Take for a Ride. And a Thunder Thief. With red-green specifically, you can just fling a big thing. We opened Fractured Identity. Super sick card. Man, I wish I was in blue-white or something here. I could have picked up a Stoneforge and a Fractured Identity. Basically just a vintage cube draft. But there's an Ornery Tumblewag, one of the best cards in the set. No complaints here. Just going to take the color, the on-color Bomb Rare. Now, if we could wheel this Jolene, or honestly, even wheel like a Prickly Pear, I'd be pretty stoked. Someone's going to be pretty happy about this Fractured Identity. Man, such sick art. Love those crows. Yeah, let's take the Tumblewag. Looks like the person to our left opened just a single rare in their pack. So sad. Very easy throw from the saddle here. Nothing else in the pack that's even considerable for our deck. Yikes. I mean, yeah, this is a real whiff of a pack. If you were playing blue, white, and sealed, you'd be pretty stoked about this. Seeker, Blast, Gem Lightfoot, Take Up the Shield. You don't really want to play Seize or Bovine Intervention. Bovine Intervention, the pun is much better than the card. Huh, okay. This is the first pack where... not super stoked on any of this. Rakdos joins up is just whatever. We are kind of moving into red here. Jagged Barrens. I mean, there's a Patient Naturalist. We could try to go for like a red-green with a little graveyard subvector. There is a Prosperity Tycoon. We have 2 ways to splash white, and Tycoon is just a really, really strong magic card. I think I'm actually going to take the Tycoon here. Patient Naturalist is probably the other pick, or even the Conduit Pylons or Jagged Barrens I could see taking here too. But Tycoon's just really strong. It puts 2 bodies into play for the Full Steam Ahead. I don't mind going Naya. Ooh, okay. Hell to Pay, Cactus Folk Sure Shot, and Explosive Derailment too. I think I'm just going to take the Sure Shot. Red seems pretty open this draft. I bet we could get either Hell to Pay or Derailment back, and Sure Shot is just really great in a deck like this. I mean, it's on Vector, right? I guess we could take an Eartha Joe. ETBs, similarly, to make another 1/1, sort of do like a Naya tokens, finishing with Full Steam Ahead. That seems pretty sick. Only the card here is Freeze Strider Commando, which is pretty weak. It's fine, you can play it, but nothing to write home about. Plotting for 4 is rough. You'd rather be playing a 4-mana 4/4 with major upside, right? Let's take an Eartha Joe. Maybe try to pick up some more Naya fixing at some point. Wow, another Scorching Shot. We could just be mono Scorching Shots. We don't really have any 2-drops yet. In fact, we have no literal 2-drops. I think I gotta take the Roadrunner. Don't love it. Would much rather have, like, Mana Dorks at that spot, but... Oh, who am I kidding? I'm not passing it. We just have so many Scorching Shots. Oh, wow. We got an Abraded Bluffs and an Inspiring Vantage. There's a Hypothesizzle in this pack, too. Hellspur Brute. We probably don't have that many. Yeah, we've got a lot of animals. Okay, we're taking one of these 2 lands. I guess we'd rather have an untapped one, right? For those Scorching Shots early. We don't have any desert payoffs yet. No? Yeah, I mean, we do have the Freeze Shadow Lookout, I guess, but let's take that. Don't love Frostification. Don't love Rodeo Pyromancers. Don't even love Conduit Pylons. I guess we could play the Pylons, but it's pretty rough with the triple Scorching Shots. This thing just taps for colorless. Let's take a little gem value. Don't tell anyone. Huh. Well, there's Gold Rush. Yeah, guess we'll take the Gold Rush. I mean, we really need early creatures. That's all this deck is missing. Wow, okay, we got the Pulverizer back. I guess some people moved into red after all. The Pulverizer. This card doesn't really do anything. I'm just going to take a Barrens. Again, maybe we open some sort of black splash. Return the Favor, we're not doing... this draft seems to want us to have a Rise of the Varmints. I guess we could take that. But it's pretty off vector. We're not really doing graveyard stuff. Probably not going to play it. Okay, Reckless Lackey. I guess we'll take it. Ooh, Wily Duke. Nice. Okay, Naya is in. We're going to want to pick up some mounts or some vehicles to pair with Wily Duke. But if you can, this thing is busted. One of the best cards in the set, as long as you can enable it, right? Nothing else in this pack is even close. There's a Mirage Mesa, which is nice. I love playing Make Your Own Luck, but Wily Duke is just a windmill slam here. Wow, good thing we moved into white. We're picking up some cool white cards here. And our mana's looking pretty solid, too. Again, I don't mind splashing here. The Freeze Shadow Lookout will help us find these lands, too. Could really use... Well, could really use some Mana Dorks. That's honestly all I want at this point. Well, we have an opportunity to redo our earlier pick on Unlicensed Hearse. Bandit's Hall. Smuggler's Surprise. We're a little bit lacking on creatures right now. We have 10 non-creature spells and 8 creatures. We have tons of removal and an overrun. The Fling is looking pretty dubious, as is the Gold Rush. We really need creatures to do all this stuff with. And specifically, we really need mounts. Honestly, are we just like a green-white deck now? These Scorching Shots are just too good, though, right? I think we need early drops. I think we need something like a Varmint, or honestly, let's go Bristlepack Sentry. Shouldn't be that hard to buff that thing up. Well, another Crazed Out Heath. Thunder Lasso I like a lot too. Discerning Peddler's fine. We could try to take a Dance of the Tumbleweeds. Do some more ramping. Could just take a Heath, though. I like having good mana. Let's take a Heath. Oh, I can just keep taking good mana, but at this point... Wow, Vadmir? Yeah. Is this seat supposed to be black? Vadmir's a really good card. I think we do need to take some 2-drop creatures to go with our throws from the saddle. No mounts coming around, though. If we have no ways to tap Wily Duke, it's not nearly as good. I think the Roadrunner's the move here. I don't really see a world where this becomes a green-white deck straight up. I think we got to go with the Roadrunner. A straight-up green-white deck would be kind of nice. Yeah, okay. Bristlepack Sentry, Patient Naturalist. This will help us hit our land drops. Sentry helps us sort of continue building up early. Frontier Strider isn't really a splashable card, and honestly, it might even whiff on planes, depending on how many planes we play. It's definitely whiffing on mounts right now. I think here we'll take the Naturalist. Really need some more early creatures, though. I'm about to put a Sterling Hound in my deck. I haven't had to cast this card yet in the format. Man, that'd be embarrassing. I think, well, there's also a Mine Raider. But we're more likely to start with something like a Bristlepack Sentry. I guess it pairs with the Lackey. I guess we could take it. This pack 3 has not been very kind to us. Mourner Surprise is the best card in this pack besides like Make Your Own Luck. We could take a Caught in the Crossfire, I guess. There's a Wolverine. Snakeskin Veil is really good, but our creature count is still just too low. We have so many good removal spells, but I mean, what good is Snakeskin Veil if you have no creatures on board to protect, right? I'm not loving Rise of the Varmints either. This card obviously works best if you have a ton of creatures. Wow, Wily Duke, but not a single mount? That'd be really sad. All right, Quilled Charger it is. I mean, look, it's a combo. Do we have any other ways to tap our Wily Duke? Oh, we have the Tumblewag. Okay, right. I always forget that Ornery Tumblewag itself is a mount. Honestly, hardly matters. This card's just so good by itself. Wolverine, Mind Raider. Yeah. Don't love Map the Frontier. Holy cow, I don't love splashing for that. We're splashing for some good cards. Prosperity Tycoon, Eartha Joe, Wily Duke. I don't really want to make our mana that much worse for like a Holy Cow. If we can avoid playing it. Okay, Discerning Peddler. Probably will end up just making our deck. It's a 2-drop, right? Okay. Our deck is basically already built. We just need to make maybe one cut. And if I had to guess, it's going to be a non-creature spell. We've got 15-9 on our ratio here. We have multiple fight spells that really would prefer to have you know, a creature on board for it to happen. I think Gold Rush might be the dubious one here. Gold Rush really needs a high creature count as well. Honestly, so does Fling, but at least that's sort of like resilient against removal spells. And let's be honest, we're going to have to cheese some games out here with either Full Steam Ahead or Fling. I do like the look of this deck, though. Basically, we're going to control the game early. Our Vector points in the direction of establishing a board, slowing down our opponent with efficient removal spells like Scorching Shot, for which we're going to want a lot of red sources. Those Inspiring Advantage is going to come in clutch. Right now, this is 8, 9, 10, 11. No, hold on. 9, 6, 7, 8, 9 red sources for double Scorching or triple Scorching Shot. Yeah, that seems good with 7, 8 green sources. Do we even need a Plains in this deck? I don't think we do. This is 4, 5 white sources? Double Inspiring Advantage, Creosote Heath, Mirage Mesa, but no ways to tutor. Reckless Lackey can make a treasure. Patient Naturalist can filter for lands. The earliest we need a white is turn 3 for an on-curve Wily Duke, or later. I think we can actually just cut this Plains. It's a little funny, but I think I want to go up that last mountain. 7, 8, 9, 10 sources for triple Scorching Shot. Yeah, I mean, if you can't cast this spell, it's not doing much for you, right? Okay, so our Vector is, we're building out a little bit of a board early, while also interacting with our opponent. Building out wider. Also, we can go tall with something like the Tumblewag. Spread out amongst a bunch of creatures, like with Eartha Joe and the Prosperity Tycoon. And then build out enough of a board that we just cast the Full Steam Ahead and win the game. Now, this does mean that our Vector incentivizes us to not trade off creatures early. Hopefully we can just use our removal spells to trade off for anything that's too dangerous. And then get in some big attacks. Also, trading off creatures makes things like Throw from the Saddle worse. Yeah. Looks fine. This deck looks fine. Not the most exciting deck we've ever drafted, but it looks definitely serviceable. With that, let's chat before we get into the game. Patrons, y'all are the best, the coolest. Really appreciate it. And if you're interested in supporting the show, all the nonsense we do here in the Chaffiscionado community, head on over to Patreon. Check it out. We've got some cool tiers, including for our Draft Chaff Hero stickers, which are en route. They shipped, supposedly, so I'll send them out when I got them. Patrons, keep a lookout. I'll probably be messaging you about those. Also, the Patreon helps keep the bounty boards going. If you jump in Discord, you can see the bounties that are up for this set. People have been claiming these left and right. We've had to put some limits on how many times you can claim certain ones. Turns out crewing a vehicle with another vehicle, or in this case, a mount with another mount, is a lot easier to do than I expected. So we're going to have to limit that one to, I think, 5 max we went with. But there's some other cool bounties. Someone claimed Jupiter's Claim just yesterday, which was a rare bounty that I wasn't really expecting anyone to get to. Now, if you want to make sure these bounty boards stay up and running, Patreon is the way to do that. Eventually, I like to put out even more packs per set as prize. Maybe incentivize, sweeten the pot a little bit. And either way, definitely check out Discord. This is the best place to chat with all the Chaficionados. And by the way, curious how many people are listening still or watching the video on YouTube or watching the video on Spotify. But with this new format, I definitely recommend seeing the video. Look at these slides. Look at those little cowboy hats. As a reminder, these bounties are up. I've been casting Cruel Ultimatum quite a lot, actually. Basically, every time I put it in a deck, I cast it. So I've been getting That's Just Cruel quite a bit. I'm not in the running, obviously, but if I can do it, so can you. Teferi Tibble time. Now, my Teferi, my rose for this week, my highs were this past weekend. I was at Cuban 2024, a little private cube gathering some friends and I hosted. It was a great time. We drafted 7 different draft formats during that weekend. And that's not even including the little sealed things we did here and there in between. Seven drafts in one weekend. It was long, it was tiring, it was a ton of fun. I technically came in second place overall, so that was pretty cool. Also, I'm building a new modern deck. It's my old Scamblade deck, but now with a twist. Yeah, I'll have to update the Discord on that. And my Tibble this week, I am so far behind in grading. It's gotten to the point where the students that don't even really care are like, hey, what's up? It's fine. They know that I've got the grades coming back to them, so I see this big pile of paper sitting on my floor. It's fine. Who needs to grade papers? There's magic to play. By the way, here's some pictures from Cuban. There's me with my beloved Draft Chaff Cube. The Draft Chaff Cube was amazing. It went perfectly. Everyone loved it. It was... couldn't have asked for better. Also, look at those cool little wooden pins. Thanks Pessimistic Corn for that. And as for the Draft Chaff Cube, some big news about it. It was accepted into the CubeCon voting for this year, for CubeCon 2024. So basically it just means it hasn't been ruled out yet for being total garbage or having some weird commander rules or some other nonsense like that. All this means is that the cube is going to be up for voting. So if you're listening, I'd really appreciate if you gave the Draft Chaff Cube a vote. Let's cook the books a little bit on this vote, right? Let's do a little election rigging. No, nothing's ever gone wrong with that before, right? I will definitely be posting in Discord once the voting goes up, and you can always follow us on Twitter for that too. I think we're at like 497 Twitter followers right now. It'd be cool to jump that 500 line. Anyway, hopefully we either get in via the community vote or the staff picks, or I don't know if I'm a big enough creator to get the spotlight for that, but it would be awesome for the Draft Chaff Cube to be one of the main event cubes. Get some more eyes on it, some more hands playing it. By the way, as a reminder, there's an Arena Open this weekend. Don't forget, that opens up at 6 a.m. Pacific. You know, I'm going to be playing the Arena Open for sure. Don't know how many bullets it'll take me to reach day 2, especially with this sealed format being, let's just say, high variance. If you open a pack with 1 rare in it, it feels pretty bad when you know your opponents are going to be opening packs with 6 rares in it or whatever, how many ever you can get now. You can get almost as many rares in 1 pack as you used to be able to get in your entire sealed pool. So I'm actually kind of excited. I think one strategy with this might be, and obviously this is limited by gems and what you're willing to put into it, but if your pool is garbage, honestly, maybe just drop it and go right on to the next one. I don't think it's going to be worth your mental time and effort, and probably not worth your money per time either, to try to slog through what's going to undoubtedly be some pretty busted sealed decks. With that, let's hop into some gameplay from that deck. Let's see how it did. We are up against Dean Dog. That's not a dog, that's a cat. I'm a little rusty in my lore, but I'm pretty sure Johnny is. Ugh. Well, we're on the play. Yikes. Is a hand like this good enough with one of the best cards in the set, a solid spell? I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. This is not a good hand to keep, but I'm going to keep it anyway. Because if my opponent does not have a kill spell, Ornery Tumblewag will just win the game. There we go. We got an irascible Wolverine. Now, obviously, we can't play Dance on 2. I think I would like to wait on this. See if I can get it up to higher. Oh, good. We're playing against the best deck in the format. Now, question here. Do I just run out the Tumblewag? I think I do. And that's because next turn, I could even potentially start attacking and doubling the number of counters on it. If I decide to just run out the Wolverine, maybe clear a land off the top of my deck, or who knows. With this sort of hand, I'm probably going to hit a non-land. Now, what I really don't want to see here is a clear shot or a throw from the saddle. If they have it, they will use it. They do not. They have a Frontier Seeker. Question is, will they attack with the Trained Airings, or will they leave back both of these things to... Ooh, and they Stone Whiffed. No planes or mounts. Okay, that's pretty great for me. Their 2-mana 2/1 not drawing a card is sort of what I needed to win this game. And the Conduit Pylons. Okay, yeah, smart to play that afterwards. Guess they left it on top. Interesting, so they are going to saddle. They already know their top card. And I'm not trading that with that, so I guess they didn't really have to crew it. Okay. Quilled Charger, that's pretty good. So what I can do here is I can Quilled Charger. I can put a counter on the Charger. Oh, I meant to crew it. Whoops. I'm getting ahead of myself, getting too hasty here. This should have an extra counter on it. I guess leaving the Charger back isn't the worst thing in the world. I didn't really care. I was just going to smack for a million, but, you know, maybe I accidentally made a better play. Because now that I have a 5/4 back, and, well, let's see if they hit their land drop here. They did. Now that I have a 5/4 back, threatening to crew for more, this thing can smash for a million. It's going to be a 6/6 attacking with Menace. And, yep, they're beaten down. Whoa. Oh, okay. They have Throw from the Saddle. Not Throw from the Saddle, they have the other one. The Steer Clear, I think it's called. Yeah, this attack would make 0 sense unless they had exactly Steer Clear. Now, if I block the Frontier Seeker, it would be a 2-for-1. I don't really want to do that, though, given the nature of my hand and given what's happening on board. I'm smacking for like 9 damage next turn. I do not care about going down a bit here. Now, they are leaving it up, which means they will be able to deal 4 damage to an attacking or blocking creature. That means I'll have to put the counter from the Tumblewag on the Charger, then attack with that. So, I think I'm also just going to do this. Oh, this costs 6 to do? Okay. Let's go with... shouldn't have played that land. We do have a bunch of 2-drops to hit with the Wolverine, but many of them are actually Scorching Shot. Unless we hit a Throw from the Saddle. I think then the play here... Could do 4 mana for this. No. I think the play here might still be the Wolverine. And then probably going to hit a... it's just so bad if it whiffs, though. I think we'll play out a Prickly Pear. This thing can trade pretty profitably with their board. It can crew this. And then we'll go to combat, put a counter on the Quilled Charger. Now their deal 4 doesn't do anything. And smack them for 7. Leaving the Tumblewag back is unfortunate, but I don't want to just trade it off with a Steer Clear. And now that they've shown me that they have Steer Clear, I can play around it pretty perfectly. Swamp. Honest Rutstein for no graveyard value. Interesting. They have an Oasis Gardener, so they have 3 mana up still. The Quilled Charger is going to be putting the pressure on. Next turn, likely just going to cast Dance. I mean, against the non-blue deck, just making a huge beefer is probably going to be good enough. No efficient bounce spells to worry about. They're swinging in with the Gardener. Interesting. Still... well... I could trade the Gardener. Gardener plus Steer Clear for Tumblewag. Is this a good trade? It's pretty close. I'm not giving anything trample anytime soon. So the Tumblewag, I don't know. But if I just no, let's be reasonable here. Next turn, if I make a million creature with Dance of the Tumbleweeds, then this sort of nonsense doesn't work anymore. They can't. They could deal 4. I mean, how big will this be? Inspiring Vantage. Okay. Yeah, I like this better than Irascible Wolverine here. And we're going to get a desert. We're going to get our white source, Crazout Heath. This will make a 7/7. So I guess they will still be able to attack with the Arynx. Let's see. I think I'm going to start putting the counters on... Well, actually, I could put the counter on the 7/7. Then they really can't attack through it. Yeah, I like that. And I'm not blocking with the Tumblewag, but I would block the Prickly Pear on the Gardener or the Rutstein. So let's do this. Mercenary, I'm going to leave back for the Frontier Seeker. Put the counter here. Attack like this. You don't want to steer clear it, opponent. That won't work. You can't block it. It's got Menace. Yep. Guess I could have pushed for more damage there, but then they could have just steer cleared the Prickly Pear. That doesn't really get me anywhere. Drover Grizzly. Yep. Now I think their attacks are pretty much shut off. Because I know they have Steer Clear in hand. They could swing with the Trained Arynx. What they were trying to do was attack with the Trained Arynx and the Steer Clear so they could attack safely into anything up to a 7/7. But now they have no longer any good attacks. Cool. Just going to run out the Wolverine here. Hopefully hit a non-land. Nice. Okay. Let's point that at, I guess, just their best creature, which is the Drover Grizzly. They didn't get priority, so I think we're kind of in the clear for whatever we want to do here. I think I'm going to be attacking with my Elemental here. I don't really want to give them a good target to steer clear, so I think the Elemental and the Charger are both going to get in. And let's put a counter on the Charger. Basically just making 2 massive threats that they can't really deal with. I could attack with the Tumblewag, but at this point it is sort of too little too late for the Tumblewag. I could crew it. So let's see, I crew it, put a counter on it. They deal, well no, I put a counter on something else. They steer clear that. This thing and this thing attack for 1,000,000. They're forced to double chump. Nah, then I could die to a big crackback. I don't really want that to happen. Let's just leave it back for safety's sake. They're likely going to have to triple chump here. Or somehow work out like a double block. Can they? They have 2 3-power creatures. They could do Arynx, Rutstein on the Charger. And then steer clear it. And then just chump the Elemental. Oh, all according to plan. Yep. Yep, doesn't really matter what I order here. They're going to steer clear. They could have top decked something like a take up the shield to save one of their creatures, like the Rutstein here. Beautifully played around. Never even had a chance with that thing. Alright, now they're pretty much just dead. If they attack with the Arynx, I probably would... I think I know the set well enough at this point that there's nothing in the set that would kill me from there, is there? No, actually there are. There's a couple ways to deal massive amounts of damage to face. I don't think I could risk it. I think at that point, if they were to attack, it'd be so unlikely that they'd have anything else. Back for more on the Rutstein. That's good. They can eat my 1/1 token, or they can just basically use this as a kill spell. Take out my Wolverine, maybe. Take out my Tumblewag. I mean, they're pretty dead. they're basically dead now. Yeah, okay, they're gonna fight down the Tumblewag, and they can get back a creature, but the game is not lasting long enough for them to use it. Unless, well, no, I was gonna say unless they have a 2-drop in their graveyard, which they did have the 2-drop Frontier Seeker, and they had a Plains. They could have played it for just 1 mana off the Rutstein, but they're dead here. Nice. No flyers, so no need for Tornado. The game did not go nearly long enough for me to have wanted Rise of the Varmints. This works best if the vector points towards graveyard stuff. If I had the, what is it, the Badger? Something Badger Fiend? The Badger that self-mills when you crew it, then this card could have been interesting, but no. They didn't have any big flyers, so again, still don't want the Iron Fist Pulverizer. Didn't feel like I wanted quick draw. Nah. Deck seems good. By the way, I'm not splashing for that Pillage the Bog. That's just not... Demonic Tutor is not nearly as good in like Modern Limited as it is like Vintage Cube or something. Ugh. That is a mulligan. Even if we top decked, like... I mean, even if we went Forest, we still aren't casting Scorching Shot or Full Steam Ahead for a long time, so that is a mulligan. That's unfortunate. But, look, that's why we add an extra mountain to the deck, so our Scorching Shot's online. I'm going to bottom the Tycoon, in case we don't draw our white source anytime soon. And if we can curve... See, there we go. If we can curve some of this into a Cactus Folk Sure Shot and maybe hit one of our bigger things. Okay, this is working out pretty well. Let's go with the Roadrunner. Get in for max damage. I do like being able to kind of chip in later. Oh, they have a kill spell? Oh, alright. We don't have to play around Steer Clear this game, I guess. I do like with the Roadrunner that you can sort of just leave it back until you can activate it. So it's a 2-drop that has significant relevance late game. Wow, no plays. Huh. Is it nuts to not discard with the Peddler? I think I'm just going to run out of the 2-2 here. Like, why would I want to pitch a Scorching Shot or a throw from the... Okay. Oh. I have been interrupted. I did not see that coming. I could have sworn they had green in their deck. What's happening here? Let's shut down that interrupter right now. And having Fling up will be nice. Ah, they didn't attack. Shame. Alright, let's just throw. Good game, huh? Honestly, now that our... It's kind of sick that they plotted the Discerning Peddler. I think I'm just gonna pitch the Fling? No, it's good if they top deck a kill spell. I'm just gonna decline again. If they try to fling the Sure Shot, it would take... Or if they try to kill the Sure Shot, it would take a whole turn, right? Oh, maybe they'll just cut on green. I could fling and kill their deputy. I'm not going to do that. I think I probably will throw here. And, I mean, they're clearly missing lands. Yeah, they're top decking a forest. I'm going to be a little mean here. I'm just going to kill them if I can. Oh, actually, pitching the Eartha Joe would have been good. We only have one green source, so doing this with a green is best. We're going to do the Sure Shot because it is word 2 and they literally can't stop it. And then they go to 8, getting awfully close to Fling range. I could have put them to 3, but obviously that's terrible value. Oh yeah, that looks like a thing that dies to Scorching Shot. And it looks like they have 1 white mana up, which is not enough to cast Take Up the Shield or Snakeskin Veil. So we attack for 6. I meant to say good game. And then we fling the Sure Shot. See, Fling's pretty cool. You could just kill people with it sometimes. Yikes. Sorry, opponent, that you got a little mana screwed there.